Product planning in AgileWrap is easy, flexible, and powerful. In this video, we will demonstrate how to plan entire product in AgileWrap from one place. We will show how to define iterations and releases, how to prepare iteration and release plans using drag and drop controls, and ensure that planning is done in alignment with the team capacity and velocity. Let us assume shopping cart product has one release every quarter and that we run one iteration each month. During the planning meetings, the team takes the highest priority features from the backlog and schedule these items in iterations and releases. Let's look at Plan Product page under Plan tab. Here, Product Backlog is on the left and Product Plan is on the right. Backlog has all the pending user stories and defects already prioritized by business value. You can further analyze the backlog by sorting and filtering or using Group By on top left. You can also prioritize the backlog by dragging and dropping the items within the left pane if required. Product Plan on right displays all the in-planning and in-progress iterations and releases. Let us add a release to shopping cart product. Click on Project Row and hit Add Release link on top right. Add a release for the first quarter. Now, click on the Release row and add an iteration using Add Iteration link on top right. You can change the keyword iteration to sprint or milestone on Setup tab in AgileWrap. We have added 3 iterations for first quarter release. Let us schedule user stories in the first iteration. Click on the highest ranked user story on Backlog pane and drag and drop to the iteration node on the right. Select multiple items by pressing Shift key and drag and drop on the iterations node on right. When you drop user stories on an iteration node, AgileWrap schedules these user stories and their tasks in the iteration automatically. AgileWrap also rolls up estimated points and estimated hours for the iteration and release. Now you can rank items within the iteration node for prioritization. If you have not broken a user story in the implementable tasks, then you can do so by selecting the story row and clicking Add Task link on top right. You can also add tasks for a story by going to Task Board. Click on the Iterations row and hit Task Board link on top right. On Task Board page, click the task icon on a story card and add a task. After the tasks are added for a story, AgileWrap rolls up estimated hours for the user story, iteration, and release rows. To edit an item, hover over a cell, and if it turns green, then double-click. Click Edit User Story on top right to edit more attributes, or add a comment and upload attachments for the story. When scheduling work in an iteration, make sure that Iteration node shows in green. An iteration shows in green when it is either full or has more room in hours. An iteration shows in orange when it is over full. If you define overall capacity of an iteration in hours and schedule items exceeding the iteration's capacity, Then it turns orange, or else it shows in green. You can also use velocity graph to schedule right amount of work in story points in an iteration. When an iteration is over full, then drag and drop the extra items in the subsequent iterations or release. You may want to plan a release before planning iterations. To plan a release, drag user stories from the backlog and drop to the release node on the right. After you have scheduled stories in the release, you can rank them as per business value using drag and drop controls. At the time of iteration planning, move the highest ranked user stories from the release node to the iteration. When the product plan is ready, print and share the plan with your team. What if you use iterations or releases but not both? In that case, define either iteration or release as per your process and prepare your product plan. What if priority of user stories has changed and you need to revise iteration and release plans? In that case, drag the items out of iteration and drop to the release node or the backlog pane as required. We saw that in AgileWrap you can plan the entire product, iterations, and releases from one place using drag and drop controls. You can plan with much more flexibility and accuracy using capacity in hours or using team velocity in story points. In the next video, we will show how to track the work in AgileWrap. Thanks for watching.